There you go.
Yofi. Okay, and we're talking English now, Lorenz.
All right,
Okay,
yeah, sure.
We're gonna be okay with that.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Lorenz Baziz.
Hi.
And we are here at the Gush Katif Heritage Center.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
it's called in English.
Great.
Now, right behind us, look at this. This is actually this is the Semel. This is
Our logo.
This is the logo for the Gush Katif Heritage Center.
Right.
Who are you, Lorenz? I know Lorenz. Wow, a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
11 years ago.
Well, 12.
Almost 12.
Almost 12.
Yes, from Gush Katif.
So, Lorenz, where did you live in Gush Katif?
I lived in Gadid in Gush Katif.
In Gadid.
Yeah, and that's how we met, I think.
Yeah,
I
because
can't
you've been
remember.
involved with all the activities for Gush Katif since the moment
right,
everything was
right.
you were taken out and you
And
work here
still,
still today.
and still,
right, so she
yes.
works here at the Gush Katif Heritage Center. She's going to show us around, and this is all part of once again bringing out the important story of Gush Katif and the people and what they've gone through and what they're going through and what they're doing for all of Am Yisrael continuing today. So let's show us around.
Great. Okay, let's go.
What are we? So what is important about this place?
Okay, first of all, this is the place we are under the auspices of the Prime Minister's office. So
Okay.
this is actually the official place where we are telling the story. This is the entrance.
The entrance. I'm with you.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Where we are telling the story of Gush Katif,
Okay.
35 years of pioneering the land of Israel.
Okay.
And so we're starting really the story at the beginning. Here you can see a beautiful, it says, היו הייתה כאן דיונה של חול מול חוף ים זהוב וטחול ונוף של דקלים ואורחה של גמלים ורק כל אדוות הגלים. I'm not going to translate exactly
It's about the
word for
beauty.
word. It's about the beauty of Gush Katif and the place that we met, when the first pioneers came.
Right.
And now it's 35 years plus 12 years. We're talking about
47 years ago.
Yes,
47 years ago, when the beginning of the resettling of Gush Katif, and again, I always talk about it's the resettling because there is a history of Jews living in Gaza, since Talmudic times,
since even Abraham.
since even Abraham, right?
Okay,
the Gaza.
so we were talking, about
Right.
the story of Gaza. So we were talking about the very beginning of Gush Katif, the previous history of Gush Katif, but also we're going through the development of Gush Katif, the expulsion from Gush Katif, but also we're taking this one step further, and the revival, renewal of the communities throughout Israel.
And it's important for me to mention, this is a heritage center for you to come with your families, with your children, right? Throughout the year, and especially during holidays times or vacation times. You're always having groups here.
Yeah, we have special activities during Chol HaMoed, during, holidays.
Right. Okay, wonderful. So here we go.
Okay, so we're going to start here. So this is like the introduction to Gush Katif. I'm going to turn on the lights.
It's going to be a little more lit in here.
Yeah, a little bit. So we've tried to recreate a little bit of what we met in Gush Katif
Right.
when we first got to Gush Katif.
Here we go.
Sand
Beautiful,
dunes,
right?
beautiful sand dunes, palm trees. Of course, we didn't bring the seashore here. We have a little bit of sand here.
Oh, a little bit of sand down here.
And we chose to have the visitors sit on palm trees. Actually,
There we go. We have a visitor sitting on a palm tree right now. Hello, visitor.
It's a beautiful view.
Okay, so this is we're going to go, so we show throughout the tour,
Right.
we show a lot of films.
Right.
There are a lot of displays, and through these films, we
Give over the experience and the information to everyone.
All the information.
And it's very child friendly. How old children? How young children can
Listen,
come?
when we have activities during holidays, we have children from the age of 10 maybe go into the center, into the visitor center. If it's classes that come together, we prefer from 7th grade.
From 7th. If it's classes in 7th grade, if you come with a family,
Yeah.
then from them 10 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first the
Room we come
introduction.
into.
Yeah, the
Okay,
first one.
and the films.
I'm going to, and the films, they're screen,
Right.
on both screens.
Wonderful.
I'm not going
No,
to show you
no need to enter
because,
films. No,
this is
we have to
a
save it for when
surprise.
people
Of
come.
course, of
When you
course.
come, you're going to see the films. This is how you get into the atmosphere sitting here on the palm trees with the beautiful aura of Gush Katif behind you, those are actual pictures of Gush Katif when we used to be there.
Okay,
So-
so I turned on the light, so maybe we can get a better view
Okay.
of everything. So come after me.
Here we go, walking
So
through.
this is also what we mentioned when we start our visit. We're talking about geography, where exactly Gush Katif was located, but also we're talking about what you said at the beginning.
Right.
We're talking about the
Jewish roots. Here we
in
go.
Gaza.
Jewish
We're
roots.
starting from Abraham, from the period of the Maccabim, the Hashmonaim,
Right.
and through different periods in time where we see Jewish presence in that area up until the establishment of 11 points in the Negev. One of them is Kfar Darom.
1946, right.
1946,
Right.
at the eve of the establishment of the State of Israel.
Right.
So we are seeing also the continuation of this life in Kfar
Right.
Darom.
Right, and whenever I speak to people about Gush Katif with my movie or just talking, I'm always telling them, no, it's not. They weren't just caravans there put over a few years. You're talking about a Jewish presence for thousands of years,
thousands of
and even
years.
before 1948 in
Yes.
modern Zionism, even before. So no one should get away saying, oh, Jews don't belong there. Jews have no history there. And here, wonderful.
Right,
So you
right.
give across
so
that information.
we give this information, and then we start the modern establishment of Gush Katif, if you can say. So the pictures from actually Kfar Darom in
There we go.
46, 47. And then afterwards, and so you see here also, there is the emblem of the State of Israel, because
Right.
from 1970, this is actually by order of government, the government of Golda Meir, who says that there should be outposts, army
Right.
outposts, in
Right.
order to be able to establish the first communities.
Right.
That period of time, there were military outposts who would develop all the infrastructures and create groups of pioneers who would go and establish actually
Wow.
the community.
All right. So we went through the history, and here we went through the modern history, of Gush Katif as we knew it as you lived there.
Yeah, sure. We see also all these sites, what I'm talking about, what we talked in the beginning, that everything was bare land,
Right.
barren
Here we go.
sand dunes.
Netzar Chazani,
Yeah, yeah,
1977
Netzar
was nothing, and then and we, the Jewish people, the state of Israel, built up and developed an oasis
Right.
in
Where
sand.
you see this in all these the pictures. Oh, so here you have all the communities, all the moshavim of Gush Katif. The first one.
Netzar Chazani,
was Netzar
1977.
Chazani in 1977.
Right.
Now it's going to be 40 years.
Right.
Since the establishment
right.
of Netzar Chazani.
Wow.
So that's another thing for
Wow,
your
for this year.
film.
Right,
You know?
bringing that in. Netzar Chazani, 40 shana. 40 years
40
years ago.
years, okay.
Home Game, the movie, the original movie, it was based on the families, this personal story of the youth of Netzar Chazani, and it was 40 years ago that it was established by Yitzchak Rabin.
Yeah, right. Here we see also Yitzchak Rabin visiting in Netzar Chazani.
Oh,
Later
wow.
on, he was visiting in the greenhouses.
There we
of
go,
Netzar
that's
Chazani.
right.
It was a lot afterwards, but
That's right. Gaza, Jewish Gaza was initially a labor project, a avodah, a labor government project.
Right.
So those who've turned it into a political right-left thing are so wrong, because it used to be consensus developed by the left, by the labor of Israel at the time. Wow.
And for many years stayed in the consensus.
Right.
Yeah, for
Right.
many years afterwards. Okay, here we have a memorial for the soldiers and the civilians who perished in Gush Katif. So it was very important also to mention all these lives that were lost in Gush Katif and
Got it.
give them
A place.
also here in the
museum.
center. Yes. And here we are talking, okay, so we are seeing a lot of films, a lot of beautiful pictures. Basically, this entire room wants to depict the beauty of Gush Katif, the beauty of its accomplishment in agriculture, the community part that was very
Right. It was
important.
very,
Yes.
very critical.
Yes, in good times, in bad times, that was something very special in Gush Katif.
Right.
The Torah that was part, of our life, of everyday life in Gush Katif, and we're continuing, seeing these beautiful sites. And on both parts, we have films with testimonies of people who depict their experience,
Their
in
personal
Gush Katif,
experiences.
their personal experience in Gush Katif.
Got it.
At the end of this stage, at the end of this room, we have beautiful pictures of
Yeah, look at
all
this.
the various villages,
Communities.
in Gush Katif at the eve of the disengagement. Nevet Kalim, which was
Yeah.
the largest community
Beautiful.
in Gush Katif, beautiful with its homes, the regional council, the community center. We had the
Beautiful.
Tournir Yulis.
Right, it used to be
Right,
there.
right, over there.
Right.
And, you know, like 21 beautiful communities that, you know, thrived during these 35 years that we were in Gush Katif. And we continue our tour. As a matter of fact, this splits our tour in two.
Okay.
There was the establishment and the development of Gush Katif.
Okay.
And then what happened after the announcement of Sharon, of his plan,
Really?
to expel all Jews by the end of 2005 from Gush Katif.
Okay.
So here this is another room where we tell about the dilemmas that, you know, the people had
Interesting.
in packing or not packing, how to get, you know,
And
used
staying,
to that, and
leaving.
staying until the last moment,
Right
and
here.
especially also
Yeah.
how to conduct
The struggle.
the struggle in order to keep Gush Katif. you
Right
know.
here we have a picture of a community meeting, one of many. I know I was there when many community meetings. And here we have the symbol
Yes,
of the
symbol
orange.
of the orange,
Right.
which is important also. And mainly, we're talking really here about a lot of dilemmas at the personal level, at the family level, at the community level, but also all kinds of dilemmas that, you know, refer to our connection
Right.
to the state of Israel, to the army of Israel. It's a little bit larger than the personal
Right.
aspect of it.
Right, and I just want to point something out here. I don't know how many people are familiar. This an orange ribbon. People were walking around with orange ribbons, and still to this day, if you look at my teak, I still have an orange ribbon on my
It's a little
knapsack.
bit yellow.
You know, make some more for me. I have to get some more orange ribbons. But yes, because that's the yesh lecha.
It's worn out a little bit.
Yeah, but that's still very
okay.
much a part of who I am. This is the
Yes.
experience of Gush Katif, even as an outsider, very much affected me in my life, and that's one of my ways of me showing unity by using the color orange. To me, that is a form of showing unity. How I'm for
It's
unity.
beautiful. Okay, so now we're at almost the end of the tour. Here we are showing a film with various aspects of how people reacted from 1 month before actually the actual expulsion,
Right.
and our also the soldiers coming into our communities, which was also very hard to realize that the soldiers that are part of
us. And our
they're
children
the
are
ones and our
soldiers.
Yes, of course. So we want to show a little bit, you know, what happened to the families, to the communities in those last days in Gush Katif up until the end of the expulsion and the destruction of the 21 communities.
Got it. Yeah, and here you see on the wall all
And
these
so
different
it's,
pictures
yeah.
from that very hard period of time.
Okay,
Oh, and this
now
time, well, we didn't mention
yeah.
something. When we first started this museum, it was beautiful picture of the sand and the palm trees of Gush Katif, and you were sitting on chairs that were
Yes.
palm trees. Look at the chairs here in this last room.
Yes, these are
Very
actual
powerful.
replicas, yes, of the very same boxes that were given us they were supplied by the army in order to pack our belongings.
Right.
So almost all of our belongings of all the people from Gush Katif, they were packed in those, you know, these
Yep.
kind of
No, but I
boxes.
think brilliant conceptually that you used that here in this room.
And here, this is
Wow.
the last room. It's very important in our eyes. This is our last room. This room was, you know, built in order to convey, on the one hand, the hardships of the communities and the
Right.
families after the disengagement,
Right.
but also the capacity to be able to rebuild, to see the end at the light at the end of the tunnel, and
Right.
to be able to, from the rubbles, to be able to
rebuild.
To rebuild new communities.
Right.
We have that also here in English.
Oh, okay, here's in English. Here's the map, yeah.
This is the map of Gush Katif and all the new communities that were established. Part of them are new communities, like my community in Be'er Ganim or Nave Bnei Netzarim in the south at the Egyptian border. But there are some communities also that were existing communities and where people of Gush Katif joined the existing communities, Niat Binyamin,
Nitzan,
Nitzan,
right.
Palmachim, Ariel, a lot of places. So we see all throughout Israel, from north to south, new communities.
Right,
that emerge from
and if
Gush
you
Katif.
allow me, the specialness, the feeling of unity, the feeling of giving to the nation, to the community. There was such a strong feeling in this little area of Gush Katif. Now, obviously, I prefer that they would have stayed there, and Lawrence prefers they would have stayed there, but even though they were forcibly removed from their house, from this little area, they have now spread that philosophy, that attitude towards life, that attitude of bringing together all of Am Yisrael, of unity and working together all across the country, all across from the Golan all the way down to the Egyptian border. Where are we? Over there. So it is, and that is what we want this new movie to get across as well.
Right,
To let people be inspired by understand the reality and the challenges that you went through and are still going through, but also to be inspired by what has been accomplished by all of these people, and even with everything you went through, to really let the Jewish people grow and the land of Israel grow and help in
right.
so many ways.
Beautiful. Hopefully. And maybe I'll show you also the last display. Although maybe, it spoils a little bit the surprise, but anyway, for the people who would want to come.
Right.
This mosaic is built out of the broken pieces of the synagogues.
Wow.
Synagogues of Gush Katif. Here we can see all the pictures of all the synagogues of Gush Katif.
Wow.
After Gush Katif was handed to the army, the army was in place,
Right.
and after all the population went out, a lady, not from Gush Katif, she instinctively, by each synagogue where she was going, she went on a journalist tour. She started picking the
Different pieces
of the synagogues. Here are, for example, 3 synagogues that were in Nevet Kalim.
Right. And those are pieces from all 3 synagogues.
Yeah, from all 3
Wow.
synagogues. This is the floor of the synagogue, of my synagogue in Gadid. And just like that, so she decided to depict in her eyes, it's Gush Katif. You see that Magen David.
I'll take
I'm not going to tell
from
you.
afar. Okay, no, I'll leave some. But yes, I see it. You see the Magen David. Yes, it's beautiful.
But the main idea is also something that is mostly the Am Yisrael is going through these processes of, like the breaking or the rubbles or any piece that is broken into the long history of
The Jewish people.
Jewish
Of thousands of years of
Yes.
hard times and persecution.
Right.
We're all broken into little pieces, and we still come together.
But still, we are coming together and we are building together something that
beautiful.
is strong and beautiful and colorful and gives a lot of hope. So this is also what we want in this center, to be able to give also hope. To show that from the very lowest point that we can just grow up and up and up and be able to accomplish things for ourselves, but also for Am Yisrael.
Wow. All right. Well, everyone, you've been watching a very quick
Quick
tour
yes.
of the Gush Katif Heritage Center here in Nitzan, down south, near Ashkelon. Right.
Yeah,
The
right.
15?
We're between Ashkelon and Ashdod.
Right between Ashkelon and Ashdod. This is Lawrence Baziz, who lived in Gadid in Gush Katif. You are all invited to come here and visit. Very important. Here you got just a taste of it, but come with your families, with your children. So important to give over this story that Lawrence just gave us just a little bit about. But it's about the beauty that was, the history, the Jewish history in the region, the recent Jewish history of Gush Katif, the hardships hardships we went through of being expelled from here, and then come to what's going on today and the unbelievable work they're doing to bring together the Jewish people, even through the hardships they went through. Anyone who wants to help us make this movie happen, the sequel to Home Game, please click on the link to donate and come here to Merkaz Gush Katif, to the Gush Katif Heritage Center. Lorenz, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care, everyone.
Good luck.
Thanks for watching.